Hello and good morning. Privit and dobro ranku. My name is Dr. Katie Bonawitz, and I'm a professor of special education in the state of Minnesota in the USA. It is my great joy to welcome you to the National Inclusion Kongress here in Ukraine. I have been working and teaching in the field of special education for 27 years, right at the beginning of inclusion in America. So it is my joy to be learning, observing, and responding to inclusion here in Ukraine. And I know you are doing good and important work in this field. As a professor of special education in America, I prepare special education teachers to work with inclusion each and every day. And as a professor, every 7 years we have the opportunity to do a special project. And my project is learning, observing, and responding to inclusion here in your beautiful country. I arrived in Ukraine on August 15th, and I will be here until November 5th, which is giving me the opportunity to go across your entire country. I have been in and or will visit Zolotonosha in the Cherkasy region, Kyiv, Uman, Zaporizhia, Vahora, Kalush, Ivano-Frankivsk, Lviv, Khmelnytsky, Cherkasy, and Poltava. During this time, I have visited and observed a broad spectrum related to disabilities and inclusion in your great country. During all of these different visits, I've had the opportunity to listen to parents who desperately want their children with disabilities to be able to go to an inclusive school. They are trying to figure out ways through different NGOs and other opportunities, but ultimately they want their sons and daughters to be able to go to the school with their non-disabled peers. I have visited territorial centers who are doing great work and who are serving the students with the most challenging needs because those students are unable to go to school. I have visited inclusion centers where they provide the expertise for the inclusive school, but it may or may not be getting implemented. I visit the special schools who are doing amazing work, but may not necessarily fit the definition of inclusion. I visit the inclusive schools who want to be on the cutting edge, but their teachers aren't fully trained and they don't have the space to serve students with disabilities. When I visit the universities where curriculum is being provided, I observe there is limited or no practical application to practice what it is they're learning from the curriculum. I visit government centers who seem eager to help, but maybe don't know how to connect all the pieces. As I learn and observe, my goal is to help all of these important players connect the dots so all children with disabilities can be educated with their non-disabled peers. So my challenge for you as you attend this Congress and continue to work in this amazing field is that if you work in a school and you have students with disabilities, provide opportunities so that future teachers can come into your school and learn and practically apply everything they've learned from their textbooks. If you work in a university, I want to challenge you to make sure that your future teachers and experts have opportunities before they graduate to work with students with disabilities. I also want to challenge you to think about and recognize that inclusion doesn't need to mean 100% of the time with their non-disabled peers, but rather inclusion focuses on the needs and strengths of each child, and then the percentage of inclusion is determined based on those strengths and needs. Finally, I want you to think of these students when they are adults. Where will they go? What will they do? What does inclusion look like in our communities? And remember to encourage one another, learn from one another, and keep fighting the good fight. And I'll end with one of my favorite quotes from Richard Pimentel, who was one of the authors of the Americans with Disabilities Act. The differences that you make that are the ones of lasting importance, They are the little differences you make in the life of another person. Thank you for making a difference in the lives of people with disabilities and their families. And finally, Ya lublю Ukrainu. God bless you.